Hello, everybody. Once again, it's the TBK podcast. You're joined by myself, LL, and David. Seems like the rest of the team's sleeping. I don't know what's going on with them man there. You get me? The man are going on like they ain't fight fans or something. I don't know what that's all about. You get what I'm saying? Like, big undisputed fight. And it's like, you can't fight no one.
No one's
available. You understand?
Come on, man.
What's going on?
We've spoken about a lot less in the past, man. This is a big thing to talk about right now.
This is what I'm saying, man. But, TBK, I know we kind of, we've been a little bit off lately, but, me and David, we're trying to rep here right now. It's like, what's the time right now in the UK?
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock. 6 o'clock. So I haven't slept. I know you haven't slept, David.
No.
But let's just get into this, innit? Canelo Alvarez versus Caleb Plant for undisputed at 168. You go first, man. Like, fire away, Dave. Like, what was your impressions of the fight? What did you think of Canelo? What did you think of Caleb? And what did you think of the outcome?
Yeah, you know what? Honestly, I feel as though Caleb Plant is gonna get respect for the wrong things. Like, people are gonna talk about durability, heart. But I personally think for a lot of the fight, Canelo was hitting gloves, and every time Canelo, even missing him, you would have thought he was punching the life out of the guy. You know what I mean? And I think Caleb Plant has got a lot to be proud of. I just feel as though with everyone else that Canelo fought in the super middleweight division, he just didn't have enough. He just didn't have enough power to hold him off. And in the end, Canelo did what he does, and that is he hurt the guy. He finished him. He finished him like devastating fashion. And that was all she wrote. But I do believe in my heart that really he clearly fought the best super middleweight out there tonight, though.
Yeah, the thing is, right, going into this fight, I picked Canelo to win. I put on a bet that Canelo would stop him within 6 to 9 rounds. I lost some money on that because obviously he got him in the 11th round. But I must say, with the effort that Caleb Plant put up, by the time he got knocked out in the 11th, I felt kind of sorry for him. You know what I mean? Yeah, like, don't get me wrong. By that time in the fight, I gave Caleb about 3 rounds. I actually gave him like the first 3 rounds, I think it was, I gave him.
Right.
And then Canelo got everything else. Yeah, do you know what I mean? Canelo got everything else. But Caleb was doing really his counter punching. It was a problem for Canelo, and his movement, like not so much his movement, but more like his defense, how he would position his body.
His hand speed as well.
Yeah, but just away from his punching and stuff, just the way how he positioned his body and that, and that little kind of shoulder roll counter that Mayweather used to do. Like, I felt like that was causing Canelo a lot of problems. But like you said, Caleb never had enough power to keep Canelo honest. Yeah, do you know what I'm saying? And yeah, to be honest, I kind of feel like that knockout kind of came out of nowhere, to be honest. I didn't find the fight, I thought it was a high level fight, and I thought, both fighters were displaying a lot of skill. Yeah, do you know what I'm trying to say? Just defensively, both of them were just really good defensively. But I don't think it was like an exciting fight for me, to be honest. Yeah, do you know what I'm saying? I don't know if it's because, we've kind of come, in the aftermath of fights Wilder and Fury. And I know it's a different weight class and stuff, but even Canelo versus Triple G was more exciting to me. But in saying that, that's not taking nothing away from the fight. It was a high level fight. But I was, by the time it got to the 11th, I was resigned to the fact that it was going to go to a 12-round decision and Canelo was going to get the decision. Yeah, but then the knockout came out of nowhere.
Well, you know what? If I'm honest with you, I'm glad it came because I would rather I'd rather that finish than watch Plant get robbed or get treated as though he didn't put up an effort.
Or Canelo win, and then people start talking about, it was a robbery, and it was the judges are in the pocket and all that kind of nonsense.
The thing is, listening to the commentary, normally I find Albert, like when I listen to Showtime commentary, I find Al Bernstein tends to be the one that is a bit more balanced. He has moments where he can be a fanboy, but I find that he can be a lot more balanced. But tonight, it's almost like all three of them. I mean, alvarez wasn't so bad, but the three of them were just. It was just a Canelo puff fest, man. It was ridiculous. Do you know what I'm saying? I couldn't understand that.
You know what though? Canelo was hitting a lot of gloves, but I don't think it was accidental. I think he realized that Caleb was pretty good defensively. Yeah. And Canelo, he done the same thing when he fought Callum Smith. Yeah, do you know what I mean? He was just punching at Callum Smith's arms, wasn't he? Yeah, do you know what I'm trying to say? And he done a similar thing with Caleb. But his body shots were pretty good as well. His body shots were pretty good.
Very good, yeah.
Yeah, Caleb, when he started, he did start with purpose, and he actually done quite well when he was, in the pocket fighting. But he just, I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for? His momentum just kind of filtered out.
Well,
do you know what I'm trying to say?
As we've seen with a lot of people that have fought Canelo, they intend to keep him off. But if you haven't got the power to keep him off, eventually he just, as well as his mind ticking over, you see the chess game going on in his head and stuff and whatnot. He just bludgeons his way through.
Bludgeons. He didn't give a fuck. He realized Caleb couldn't really punch like that, and he was just walking. He was taking shots to land shots.
That's what. And the thing is, he's done that since to the whole super middleweight division. Every opponent he's fought in the super middleweight division, he's literally just been getting tapped, and he just punches his way through these guys. He's hurt them all. Do you know what I mean? And if you think about it, Callum Smith now, it looks like the result is a good one for Callum Smith because he's the only one that actually ended the fight on his feet.
Yeah, but I mean, to be fair though,
even though he got an absolute battering, but what I'm saying is, he's the only guy that finished on his feet. Obviously, we weren't going to expect anything from Yildirim because it's Yildirim. Yeah, Billy Joe again ended up being a bag of hot air and just getting beaten up. But I think
for real though, since Canelo's moved up from middleweight, it's all been stoppages, isn't it? Yeah, besides Callum Smith,
apart from Callum Smith, but to be fair, he definitely fought the best of the lot tonight. Without a shadow
100%, man. But you know what it is as well. Oh, sorry to cut you off there, Dave. No, I was gonna say, Canelo, he doesn't get much credit. His resume is stellar, and the criticism that he gets is that he's fought a lot of guys out of their prime and stuff like that. And we know what happens in boxing. Yeah, now whether it's next week, next year, the next 5 years, they're gonna talk about Caleb Plant like he was nobody. Yeah, do you know what I mean? Maybe Caleb Plant might take a few more losses in his career after this fight, and after they would just try and diminish Caleb Plant for the sake of downgrading Canelo. But Caleb Plant, to me, he gave Canelo the best fight so far since Canelo's moved up to the higher weights.
100%.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? He gave Canelo a lot to think about in there.
Yeah, he did, and you could see that. Like I said, you could see the chess moves. You could see him thinking. You could see his IQ as the fight went on. But he had to go through it, and he said it. He basically said it in the fight that he has a lot of respect for him because he was a lot tougher an opponent than he gave him credit for. Do you know? Because remember, Canelo said he reckons he's going to stop him in 7 or 9, and you know what? He stopped him in the end, and none of us really saw the stoppage coming. But give Plant his dues because. He posed more problems for Canelo than I've seen anyone pose for Canelo in a long time.
But I'm not gonna lie though, I feel like that whole style that Caleb had, that whole shoulder rolling and coming back with the counters and shit, I feel like that gave Canelo so much problems, And it's like, I mean, some of the guys in the group chat was saying that, the only way to beat Canelo is to knock him out. I don't know if I agree with that completely. I think it takes a good counter puncher to maybe beat Canelo, or someone who knows how to utilize their counter punching. Do you know what I'm saying? He's got an excellent chin in that, but you have to kind of, look at what Mayweather done. Yeah, do you know what I'm trying to say? That whole style that Caleb Plant tried to use in that year, it was Mayweather-esque.
Very much.
Yeah, with the whole rolling and coming back with the counters and that, and it was working for him.
And the pot shotting as well. I mean, some of the stuff that he did on the counter was excellent, but because of it was that short snap, same way Mayweather used to have it, but I guess because it wasn't Floyd, it probably wasn't going to get the recognition that it deserved. You know what I mean? Because he did it with both hands, he did it off the left and the right. Yeah. The thing I think, giving the comment about him needing to get knocked out a bit more perspective, is it seems as though if you don't physically wobble him, immediately you're going to lose. Because it's like, when you really think about it, Triple G was probably the closest fight he's had since he's moved up. And
but I mean, Triple G was at 160, so
well, arguably he lost the first fight.
I don't think he did, but that's what a lot of people say, but I don't think he did at all.
For some people, arguably he lost the first fight. The point is, if Triple G never knocked him out, who else is going to do it? And if all it takes is that he's going to get knocked out, then he'll never lose again. Unless he fights a cruiserweight or heavyweight, and even then you're going to question whether or not those guys can knock him out, because the guy's chin seems granite. You've never seen him really wobbled as such. I mean, the one time he got wobbled was against Triple G, and he countered straight away. And I do think, so to let me finish, I do think that is a slight concern for boxing, in that he's great enough as it is. The guy's ability is unquestionable. He's got the IQ, he's got the physical attributes, he's got the power. Because I mean, he's even showing Andy Ruiz how to utilize a power shot. But I don't like the cheerleading that comes with Canelo at the moment, because I don't, and the reason why
man, the cheerleading is well deserved, man.
Listen, when I say cheerleading, I'm not talking about what he deserves, because we can't argue what the guy deserves. He deserves the fanfare, but I'm saying it's unnecessary because he's that great. He doesn't need any extra. Let the guy give other fighters a fair chance. I don't listen to what I'm saying. I don't think tonight.
I'm hearing you. I just disagree.
Okay, well, I don't think tonight Caleb Plant necessarily got the credit he is due, and especially with the commentating that was taking place. I don't think he got the credit that he was due. I said from the first round in the group, if you okay, yeah, fine, good strategy, but it's not going to be enough to keep him off. I was aware of that from the beginning, because he just never had enough spite in his shots.
I mean, going into the 6th round, I had it 3-all. Yeah, I had it 3-all. Sorry, going into the 7th round, I had it 3-all. Right. Yeah. One of the guys who does the
Steve Farhood.
Steve Farhood, when he does, he had Canelo up by then. I didn't have Canelo up by then. Yeah, but I do think that, I mean, I get the point that you're making, but at the same time, Canelo did win those rounds. Yeah, do you know what I'm trying to say? He did win those rounds. You could actually see the momentum changing. I don't think that they said anything wrong. I think when you look at what Canelo's done in the sport, who else in the sport right now? I mean, Manny Pacquiao's retired. So who else in the sport has a resume like Canelo Alvarez? He's only been beaten by one person, and it's Floyd Mayweather. And people act like that loss don't even count because Floyd Mayweather is that brilliant. Do you know what I'm saying there? So, I mean, how much accolades can you give someone like Canelo and say they're not deserved? No, do you understand what I'm saying?
The point he does deserve them. I just think it gets a bit unnecessary when you give him this extra, like I was saying before. He was throwing shots that were missing, and the crowd were going mad. The commentators was even it's almost like he was getting scored points for the effort, and he doesn't need that.
Bro, no way, man. Come on,
he does enough.
Canelo. Okay, but no, fine. But I'm saying Canelo was hitting his arms in that, fair enough, but he was also doing good body work in that,
I'm trying to say, Canelo's body work, because it's the same body work.
Okay, but he's gone. But what I'm saying is, the rounds, that we're talking about, Canelo won those rounds. So to say that the commentators were giving them extra credit, that comment don't really make sense to me. I mean, I know we're tired, innit? So I don't know. Maybe you just, maybe you're talking before you're thinking, bro. I don't know.
No. Now you're going too damn far. You feel me? Start talking.
All right. So tell me this then, yeah, Dave, yeah? Because obviously we're talking about a skillful fighter with power. Yeah, who can potentially cause Canelo problems. I mean, the person that we're talking about here, yeah, is Ross Clark. Say his name.
What?
Charlo.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, that's the fight that people are going to talk about, wanting to see. Yeah, do you know what I mean? Yeah. Obviously, Charlo and Benavidez as well, yeah. But, I mean, the issue for me with Charlo is that Charlo gets hit too much certain times. And Canelo will hit him. And it's a matter of how will Charlo take those punches when Canelo hits him. But the thing is this, though. Charlo can hit as well. Charlo, I mean, we know Canelo's got a chin. But Charlo, with his skill set, I mean, we saw the kind of problems that Caleb Plant caused him. Like, what kind of problems will Charlo cause him? What do you reckon?
See, I think that Charlo can cause Canelo a lot of problems. Again, he's fleet-footed enough. He's good with his hands as well. He's quite quick. And he's good on the counter as well. My thing is it enough to stop Canelo getting to him? I don't think it is. But we're yet to find out, and we can speculate on it as long as we have to, because the fight hasn't happened yet. But I think Benavidez will probably try and out-monster him, which will go wrong. You know, it will go wrong 100%, because then it's about what you can receive more than what you can give, and that's the conundrum I think he faced. We as fans are going to give him and Charlo fight. Like Charlo offers a lot, but we've never really seen anybody that's given Charlo we've never really seen anybody chin check Charlo. We've never really seen anybody give Charlo the problems that he's given out, and I think Canelo gives him every problem he's given to upper fighters. And again, it's about what he can handle, because we've seen Canelo go in there with the so-called monster in Triple G, and again not get wobbled. We've seen him go. We've seen him going with someone as skillful as Caleb Plant, and I will say that. And in the end, he got knocked out. We've seen him go against Mayweather and get absolutely washed, but still end up with a split decision. So, you know, these are fighters that, well, one's a generational fighter, and the other two are pretty good. Do you know what I mean? I'm hoping that Charlo can give him a problem, but what I think will happen now is he'll probably not go back down to 160, and
Charlo's going to have to move up to 168 if he's going to fight Canelo.
And I think if Charlo moves up to 168, then I think he lessens his chances. Yeah. 100%.
I mean, I want to kind of wrap this up now. Yeah, do you know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, I just wanted to say, obviously, that the opponents that Canelo's talking about is obviously Charlo, David Benavidez, Dmitry Bivol, and
also
Beterbiev, sorry. The name was on the tip of my tongue there, and Beterbiev. Beterbiev's getting a bit older now.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? And he hasn't really been as active as what he should be to maybe fight someone like Canelo. Yeah, if someone can hurt Canelo, it's going to be Beterbiev.
Yeah.
Bivol, he's very fleet-footed, and I don't know if I think it would be a difficult fight for Canelo, but I don't know if it's a fight that I'd be excited about, because I think it's just be a fight where Canelo would just be chasing him all over the fucking ring and that. And you know what I'm trying to say? It's a matter of whether Canelo can catch up with him or not, and chances are it'll be a 12-round fight, I reckon. I think the Charlo fight, I think it's an exciting fight, and I think the Benavidez fight is an exciting fight. We know that before Canelo got the fight with Caleb Plant, there was this talk about PBC. They said that you know, if they were going to give Canelo the Caleb Plant fight, then he has to sign, you know, a free fight deal or something like that. I don't know. I mean, if you know about it, I mean, you tell me. But I don't know if Canelo signed that deal or if he just got, you know, a fight-by-fight basis. So, I mean, it will be interesting to see what he does next, whether he will go back to the zone with Eddie Hearn and fight Bivol or Berbetiev, or whether he'll, you know, fight the PBC guys and fight Charlo and Benavidez. But I mean, I kind of want to end it there. I mean, do you have any final thoughts before we end it?
Nah, just other than, again, I mean, it wasn't quite what the Wilder Fury fight was in terms of excitement, but it was still a really good fight. And hats off to the first undisputed super middleweight champion.
Yeah, and a Mexican. Sorry as well. I would say, what the fuck is going on with Canelo's lip? Like, oh my days, like, you know what, yeah? Listen, yeah? Bruh, listen, man turned up, yeah, for fight night and that, yeah, with some sore in his lip and that, yeah. I'm just like...
that's there every time now. No, it's
just there every time. It's like no one's talking about it.
Man, that's what I'm saying, bro. Like, we know about the taking beef stuff, man. I don't understand.
Yeah. But you need some Carmex or something, brother.
Carmex, man, that looks like a result of roid rage, man. But we can't talk about that.
Yeah, let's leave it there. All right, so I mean that's the end of our talk on Canelo versus Caleb Plant. It was a high level fight. Canelo Alvarez is now the undisputed super middleweight champion of the world. Yeah, we'll wait to see what happens next with Canelo Alvarez. And it's myself, LL, and David. It's the TBK podcast. We're signing out. Take care.
And this is the TBK podcast.